Want healthier, stronger, shinier hair? Tired of products that don't work for coily or kinky hair? Meet 12 Tribes, the vegan hair care line designed for you. Our products are made with love for your gorgeous coils. We offer hair growth butters, oils, shampoos, and hairsprays. These products help your hair grow long, thick, and shiny. Imagine a hair care line that's 100% vegan and perfect for coily hair. No more guessing if it's really going to work for you. Our butters are rich and nourishing, feeding every strand. Our oils are lightweight but powerful, sealing in moisture without greasy residue. Shampoos and butters leave your hair clean and soft, never stripped. What sets us apart? Our dedication to your hair's needs. No harsh chemicals, just effective, natural ingredients. And the results speak for themselves. Start your journey to healthier, shinier hair today. Visit our Etsy shop, Lisa Crafts. Click the link in the description below. Give your hair the care it deserves. Join our satisfied customers and see the difference.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know your adult children out here is living in a world that is so bad when it comes down to inflation on rent, food, the basics, utilities. Many of them in record breaking numbers are moving back home. It's tough out here. And when I look at what these young people have to go through, it's way worse than when I was their age. And this is only going to get worse. And I think it's very disheartening that Joe Biden and the Democrats keep trying to feed us this lie that the economy is good. The economy is, oh, it's doing just great. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. And you're not going to fix something if you don't acknowledge that something is definitely wrong. And I don't think there's very many people out here that's buying what the Democratic Party is saying about this economy in great shape. No, it isn't. Anytime you got people out here that's telling you that it's tough out here, they're having a problem putting food on the table. If they pay their rent, they're having a hard time paying their utility. If they pay their car note, then they may not have enough money for food. Trust me, these stories are everywhere. And anytime you are sitting up and putting this lie out about how great things are for everyone, it just goes to show you how tone deaf the Democratic Party is. I have heard on several occasions Joe Biden telling reporters or during an interview talking about how great this economy is. It is not great. It has not been great under his administration the entire time. It has not been great. And y'all use any excuse to justify raising prices all the time. The Ukraine war, that ain't even over here. But they used it for justification in raising prices. And then the whole Russia gas situation. They said they get very little gas from Russia, but they gladly went up on all the gas prices. They use any reason to just blow up the prices. And yeah, I realize this is summer. It's a big travel season. But when fall get here, it may go down a bit because we're getting close to the election. But you can best believe once that election is over, everything is going to inflate again. You know, but these politicians love playing these games about the economy. And let's face it, even if Donald Trump gets in there, he can't do nothing about all of this inflation right away. He may be a couple of years into his term before you see anything. If you see anything at all, you may not see anything at all. It's not a guarantee because Trump is in there that prices are going to immediately go down. So, right now, young Americans are in a tough situation. I really feel for them. Many of them want to be out here and work and live on their own. But as it stands right now, it's next to impossible. So, Democrats, stop lying to the public about how great the economy is. Stop, please, already, because it's a lie. It's a big old lie. Now, we know the pandemic disrupted a lot of things, and it caused a lot of job loss. It caused a lot of economic instability for many families across the nation. But young people graduating from high school and college during that period of time, it just threw the whole job market into chaos. Some decided to extend their stay at home, or they did move out, and all of a sudden the rent prices were doubling and tripling, and they could no longer afford to be in their own apartment or a rental home. And I did the stories during the pandemic about how people were getting evicted. Some, the landlord went up so high on the price that they could not stay there anymore. They couldn't afford it. Some were looking around for a cheaper place and they were having a hard time finding a cheaper place. It's a mess. It's a mess. So, recent census data revealed that more than half of young men and women ages between 18 to 24 are living at home. That includes young adults living in college dorms. Typically, students housed in dormitories live with their parents between semesters. Rising inflation, increasing student debt, and unmanageable housing. Yes, that's true. About a week ago, they said the housing prices have gone up even more. Mm-mm-mm. And rent prices are some indicators on why young people have chosen to move in with their parents. And that's if they're able to, because you got some parents out here, they don't want their children back under no circumstance. Here's how the number of young adults living with parents has changed over the past several decades. In 1960, about 52% of young men ages 18 to 24 lived with their parents, compared with 35% of young women. The reason for the gender disparity is because women were less likely to pursue college after high school. In 2022, the most recent year for which data is available, 55% of women between the ages of 18 to 24 live at home, and 57% of men in the same age group do the same. So, according to a report from the Census Bureau, young adults are experiencing the traditional markers of adulthood, such as leaving the parental home, starting a family, establishing stable careers, and later in life than previous generations did. Well, they can't do the same thing their parents did. Life was very different when their parents were young compared to the way it is now. It's really terrible out here. The people that are in charge have mismanaged everything. And they can't do nothing about this. They done screwed up so bad, they can't do anything about it. You know, Even if they were to do a few things here and there, it would take years or even decades to turn a lot of the things they have screwed up around. But see, this is what happens when your ruling class is worried about greed above all else, and concerned only for themselves and not the other groups of people on the planet, just themselves. And you got the most selfish, rotten ass people running things. So they're not looking out here and seeing a problem and say, hey, we need to turn this around or help our people. No, but what they will do is fund wars and give money to anybody but Americans. That you see how they are defiant over our reparations. These are the kind of evil forces that are in charge. And if you think they're going to make anything better, even for our young people, never mind us and our reparations, they don't even want to make things better for the young people. You don't hear them saying, we got to do something so that our young people can make it out here, can live outside of their parents' house, can have decent careers and work. And no, you don't even see them trying to do anything for the young. The only people they're concerned about are themselves. And that's how it's been this entire time. And you see where that has gotten us. So, ladies and gentlemen, and young people everywhere, I feel your pain. I really do. And I surely hope things will change, but not under the people that are the ruling class right now. It's not going to change under them. If anything, they're going to muck it up and make it even worse for everybody in America. So, according to a 2023 survey from Harris Poll for Bloomberg, they found that 45% of the people between the ages of 18 to 29 lived at home with their families, an 80-year high. From 2021 to 2023, more than 60% of Generation Z and millennials said they had to move back home, according to the recent poll. So, the top reason young people moved back home was to save money. They were saying it was impossible to save anything living on their own. Everything was literally being usurped in rent, money, and car payments, and they were being left with nothing and living paycheck to paycheck. And many of them said their paychecks didn't even cover their expenses anymore. So it's a situation where when they moved into an apartment, at that time they could afford it. And then the pandemic hit, and these landlords, because there's no regulation in America, they're doubling and tripling up on the rent. And many of them want $10,000, $12,000 up front before you can even move in. And the average person don't have that. And you know what? Your politicians could put policies in place to stop all this stuff. And instead of doing that, they refuse to do it. They won't even address it. And that's the problem of having 70 and 80-year-olds as your politicians, because they can't relate to these young people at all. So they're not going to see what's going on with them as a legitimate problem. They're just going to sit in their political positions and just conveniently ignore it. The second most common reason why young people said they could not afford to live on their own, the most common housing arrangements for those 25 to 34 was living with a spouse. According to the US Census Bureau, about 17% of young adult men and women in the same age group lived with an unmarried partner. In 1960, about 11% of men and 7% of women between the ages of 25 and 34 lived within their parents' home. That percentage increased slightly in 2022 to 18% of men and 12% of women of the same age group lived with their parents. So, boy, I wish I could say things are going to get better. It's not going to get better. It's not, y'all. We're in the final days, and these people ain't trying to make nothing better. So, y'all gonna have to tell me what you think about this story. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.